Well, well, look who it is. I was wondering who could be valiant enough to wipe the floor with these guys so easily. Turns out it was the distinguished traveler. Really, I can't thank you enough. Of course I was aware of you long before you arrived in Inazuma. Though the Sakoku decree managed to keep the country locked up, it wasn't able to stop the incredible stories about you. Every day, all of those little stories would come scurrying over to my desk, like files with little feet. I was actually thinking about going to meet you once I wrapped up the business at hand. Who would have guessed that you'd show up first? I got so excited I nearly forgot to introduce myself. The name's Shikanoin Heizou, Special Detective of the Tenryou Commission. It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler. I wish you all the best on your journey through Teyvat, by the way.
What? Paimon's just here to take a look. And hey, who are you calling a little sidekick? Paimon was worried he might be in danger, so Paimon came to help. Why are you two staring at Paimon? Is Paimon not supposed to be here?
Yeah, I'm also just taking a look.
He can look, but you can't.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. After all, this is the first time I've seen a voice. I must admit, I'm most intrigued.
Huh? Voice? What are you talking about?
A vision is an external magical focus, right? Well, similarly, a voice is an external voice box. I've heard that the Traveler isn't very talkative, but given how chatty you are, you must be his voice, right?
That sounds awful! Paimon's not somebody's voice! Paimon's emergency food!
Something vital is missing on this island. Isn't that bizarre? Something vital has gone missing on this island. Has something evaporated into thin air? What could it be?
Paimon bets it must be something delicious. You know, because the soil of Watatsumi Island can't grow crops. There's a shortage of food here.
So how would you like to partner up on this one? We can work together to solve the mystery. Yes, of course, I understand. But let me ask one more question. Did the police station say they are looking for me because of something important? Well, then it's probably nothing major. Most likely they're short on staff or something petty like that, and they happen to remember their model employee. So since we're already here, why don't we just solve this puzzle together? Once everything is settled, I'll gladly accompany you back to the police station, or anywhere else you'd like to go. What do you think? It's a deal then, partner.
Captain, I see you found the detective.
Watatsumi Island sure is a beautiful place. I don't think I could ever leave.
You can stay as long as you like, granted you don't cause any trouble, that is. Her Excellency has stated that all friendly visitors are welcome. Incidents of stolen goods? Not that I'm aware of. Her Excellency has recently launched several measures to boost the economy, including the development of trade routes and establishing our own caravans. Troops have also been deployed to protect them, so it is only reasonable to assume that the current trade routes are already very safe. Any looting or theft would be practically unthinkable.
That's strange. Then where did the Nobushi get those goods from?
Huh? You mean you found goods of unknown origin?
Yep, and it's all Sango pearls and crystal marrow, so we know it's local.
Could there have really been a theft that hasn't been reported? That shouldn't be the case. Well, perhaps you could go ask Todoroki. He's responsible for the caravans and is usually in the village at night preparing the goods. If something has happened, he should know about it.
Great. Thank you for all the info. Let's go.
Hey, Traveler! It's been a while. I've missed you. Why didn't you inform me that you'd be coming over today?
General Goro.
You're dismissed, Shibata. You may go about your other duties while I catch up with the Traveler.
Yes, General Goro.
I overheard you discussing a case of stolen goods. Is that right?
That's right! We found a lot of Watatsumi's valuable products in an Ibushi camp!
I see. So you've come to ask if we know of any relevant cases. Well, I'm ashamed to say that, yes, the caravans have been plundered. And not just once, I'm afraid. We had already dispatched additional forces to protect the caravans, yet the crooks still managed to get away with the goods.
And you're concerned that if this kind of news were to get out, it would undermine the confidence of other caravans. So you didn't make it public, and instead kept the news to only a select few.
That's correct. I never expected you to be so concerned about Watatsumi's affairs, Detective Heizou.
Just a force of habit, really. As a detective, I notice these kinds of things.
Oh, so you two already know each other?
Actually, I've only heard of Detective Heizou from the soldiers' reports. We've never met in person.
Darn it. You're right. Now that you mention it, I've been on Watatsumi Island all this time and still haven't properly introduced myself. Man alive, please forgive me. It's a pleasure to meet you, General Goro. I'm Shikanoin Heizou of the Tenryou Commission.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I'd like to express my gratitude to you for stepping in and helping recover those goods.
Don't mention it. You never know what you'll find when you're out for a stroll. But if the source of the problem is not addressed, I'm afraid this sort of situation will continue cropping up for you.
Yes, of course. Not only have we reassured the affected caravans, but we also dispatched personnel to investigate the culprits. The reports indicated that the stolen goods were being delivered to a merchant of the International Trade Association named Godot. So, will you please help Watatsumi Island, Detective Heizou?
I'm willing to assist, but it all depends on what he wishes.
Great! With both Detective Heizou and the Traveler on the case, I'm sure it'll be solved in no time.
Are you still a little confused? Let me help connect the dots. This whole thing was actually quite similar to a case I once worked on previously. It was a case involving the trade of prohibited items, and they employed an old trick to execute the deal. The culprit would first go strolling down the street until they knocked over a pedestrian on purpose, using the opportunity to slip the prohibited goods into the unknowing pedestrian's pocket. Once the intended recipient got word of it, they would find an excuse to harass the same pedestrian before stealing the goods from the pocket. The pedestrian had no idea what happened from start to finish, and unknowingly functioned as a middleman. So, can you guess who the middleman was in this case?
Who are you?
Hello, Todoroki. I'm Shikanoin Heizou, Special Detective of the Tenryou Commission. I believe you've been manipulating large-scale illegal trades for some time now. Mind if we talk about that for a bit?
You can't just go around spewing such nonsense, young man.
And what if I'm not talking nonsense?
Ridiculous. I don't have time to listen to this. Get out of here, you little brat.
I know I'm on the younger side compared to you, Todoroki, so I'm sure you must have heard the old saying. Off the scale, some goods only weigh a couple pounds, but on the scale, they weigh more than 1,000. So the question is, do you want to put your goods on the scale or not?
What are you trying to say?
Well, nothing. All I want to hear is you personally confirming what we already know to be the truth.
Masashi! Tokuda! Arrest these people!
I did not! Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled!
Wait! Everyone, stand down!
General Goro! You're here!
My apologies, Traveler, Detective Heizou. I wasn't telling you the truth. Todoroki, the Traveler here is the hero who saved Watatsumi Island. Without him, Watatsumi Island would never have found the peace it has today. We mustn't raise our weapons against him. I was invited to attend the Iridori Festival on Narukami Island with Her Excellency a while back. At the festival, I waited in the marketplace while Her Excellency... Yeah. She went to the Kanjo Commission to see Lady Yae, purportedly for a book review, but there were other items on the agenda too. The meeting wasn't made public. Following her return, we began our attempts at boosting commercial activity, and it wasn't long before there was a push for a new commodity bill on Narukami Island. So, what do you make of it? Do you think Her Excellency knows about this?
I guess I was mistaken when I declared that something was missing. That something from this island had evaporated into thin air. Because even something that evaporates is not gone. It's still there, just in a different state of being. When water is heated by fire, it evaporates and eventually finds its place in the sky. Similarly, when the land was harmed, its vitality evaporated and eventually found its place among the inhabitants. This is the final answer I've been searching for. Anyway, thanks again. You know, even though we just met, I wish you could be my partner all the time. Call me greedy, I guess. But, of course, I know that's impossible. You have your own journey to complete. So I'll just keep doing what I can. Hopefully keeping my memories from evaporating safe and sound in my mind. That way, I'll always be able to remember these beautiful things. The beauty of Watatsumi Island, the people who are full of life and vitality. And you two, who are by my side. Petty like that. So since we're already here, once everything is settled, I'll... What a sterling example of dedication. In that case, I'll accompany you back to the police station first. We can discuss the issue of Watatsumi Island later.
Oh, look who showed up. Heizou, you're finally back. Listen, if you took any longer to come back, everyone at the police station would be toast.
You say that every time I come back, Uesugi. However, something does feel a little unusual about the police station this time.
Come on, would I ever lie to you? Madame Kujo-Sara is here and she's on the warpath, so be on the lookout.
What's that lady doing here?
Doshin Shikanoin, I see you finally returned. Please, enlighten us. What have you been doing recently?
Okay. I was just out investigating a case.
Don't give me that. I checked the records here. You didn't take any cases.
Actually, it's a case of personal relevance to me. These two can attest to that.
Traveler? Paimon, what are you two doing here? Here, take this letter of complaint. It's written against you. Please consider carefully what to do with it. I do not wish to see another one. Understood?
Huh? Someone filed a complaint? That can't be right. Why would there be a complaint letter?
You must not be doing your job properly, and now you're attracting complaints.
No, it really doesn't add up. You two don't get it. Although Madame Kujo-Sara just made some harsh remarks, we all know that Heizou-senpai is a real whiz when it comes to cracking cases. He's the biggest asset on our team. Several leaders have risen through the ranks as a result of his achievements. He's definitely no slacker.
Then he must have trouble.
Well, let me see what's the deal here. Oh, and since you agreed to be my temporary supervisor, you'll find the desk where new case files are kept right over there. Would you mind helping me check what cases I need to deal with? Of course, but first I have to confirm what's going on, and whether or not the letter's legit. Please, have a look at the case files first.
Heizou talks fraud? What's that? Sounds interesting, whatever it is.
So, have you gone through the case files? Is there anything that caught your eye? Oh, have they approved it already? The Tenryou Commission certainly has become more efficient ever since Kujo Kamaji took office.
So, what is Heizou talks fraud?
It's an anti-fraud public awareness event. Basically, think of it as a short play about fraud. We'll get a few people to perform an entertaining drama in order to raise public awareness about the issue.
Ooh, so it's a play? Paimon likes the sound of that.
Well, see, fraud is a major issue here. You've traveled between different nations. I'm sure Mora isn't really an issue for you. You have to understand that scamming the poor of their money is essentially robbing them of their lives. Left unchecked, the situation could potentially deteriorate into something more serious.
That makes sense. But will putting on a performance really work?
It's hard to say. Preventing crimes is more difficult than solving them, there's no doubt about that, but prevention is also a more worthwhile cause. Maybe only a small number of people who attend the event will ever actually encounter a scam artist. And even then, of the handful of attendees who encounter said scam artist, I doubt many of them will be able to see through the scammer's ruse. But if even only one person escapes the clutches of a scam artist because of my event, then I'm willing to put on this play for that person.
All right, count us in. Today we are the anti-fraud messengers.
Great. First, we need 3 actors, 2 to play the scam artists and 1 to play the victim. Well then. Now, we only need to find the last person to play the role of the fooled victim. We don't want someone too clever for this role. Otherwise, they'd see right through this ruse and the drama would come to a grinding halt.
Not too clever. Oh, timing is perfect.
It takes years to make a fortune, but only a moment to lose it all to a scam artist. Welcome to the first Heizou Talks Fraud. I am your eponymous host, Heizou. Okay, I'm delighted to have you all here today to explore the topic of fraud. To help everyone avoid becoming the victim of scam artists themselves, we thought we'd invite several VIPs with a lot of experience in this area to perform a little play with an anti-fraud message. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Miss Etsu, Mr. Iba, and the venerable gentleman, Mr. Arataki Ito. Without further ado, let the show begin. It was just another bright sunny day when a distressed Miss Etsu brought her elderly grandpa, Iba, into the police station to report a crime. There, they were greeted by a kindly Doshin, surname Arataki.
Doshin Arataki, please help us! My poor grandpa has been defrauded!
Doshin Arataki? You talking to me?
Perhaps for want of familiarity with the script, a confused look creeps over Doshin Arataki's face, and he asks himself that age-old question. Who am I?
Yes, you are Doshin Arataki! You're Doshin Arataki!
Oh, so I'm in the play. Right, yeah. Okay, got it. I'm a Doshin, of course. Okay, I got this. Ma'am, can you tell who it was that defrauded your grandfather? Rest assured, the Tenryo Commission and I are here to bring them to justice.
I don't know. It was too late when I found out. They took all of my grandpa's money, and all they left was this note.
Doshin Arataki frowns as he realizes this is more complicated than he thought. He takes the note in his hand and reads it out loud.
I am the Raiden Shogun. I am currently being held hostage by the Crux fleet and urgently need 200,000 Mora to secure my release. Please place the ransom Mora on the north coast of the deserted island. When all of this is over, I will promote you to General of the Tenryo Commission.
It's the almighty Shogun. We cannot let Her Excellency come to harm.
But this is a scam, surely. I mean, 200,000 Mora? Kinda lowballing it for the Electro Archon, don't you think? Shouldn't it be like, 300,000 at the very least?
Well, I sure thought so, but Grandpa's already parted with the money.
Well, then we gotta get it back. Is there still time?
Before I could go out to look for it, Grandpa received another note.
Doshin Arataki takes the note and reads it out loud.
I am Miss Hina. I am currently raising funds to publish a photo book. I urgently need 300,000 Mora for publishing fees. In return for your support, you will receive a limited edition signed photograph.
It's Miss Hina. We can't leave poor Miss Hina in a tight spot.
You're right, Gramps. Is 300,000 Mora enough? I can spare some too if we need to make up the difference. Maybe I can get a photo of Miss Hina too. I mean, we gotta help Miss Hina out here.
As the spark of intuition flickers and threatens to fade, Doshin Arataki clutches around in desperation, hoping to find a source of fuel to feed the flames of enlightenment. Traveler, are you going to help this poor man out of his predicament?
Follow my heart. All right then. There's no way a Doshin makes 500,000 Mora in a single pay packet. Two innocent victims, Miss Etsu and Mr. Iba, come to a Doshin for help. And the Doshin, whips out a 500,000 Mora check? Yeah, likely story. There's only one possible explanation. Who's got two horns and carries around a fake checkbook? Yep, this guy. With this fake check for 500,000 Mora, I almost swindled Etsu and Iba out of 10,000 Onikabuto, the last thing these poor folks needed after the recent string of catastrophes they've faced. My mind is blown. Craziest plot twist I ever heard. The criminal was the main character all along. Miss Etsu, I'm afraid I can't let myself give you this fake check. But I will do everything in my power to raise 500,000 genuine Mora for you. So don't you worry.
What the?
Oh, jeez.
In the end, Doshin Arataki listened to the voice of his heart and narrowly avoided being defrauded in his own unconventional way. Well, you still managed to protect your money. In the end, they didn't succeed.
Yeah, but that was a happy coincidence. They scammed me, and I fell for it.
Guessing it wasn't your first time either, huh?
It was such a cheap trick, too. This is killing me.
The trick is a common one for a reason, but don't underestimate it. That's how you end up being a victim.
But how am I gonna protect my gang if even I get fooled by such cheap tricks?
Don't blame yourself, old chap. In fact, you know what? I was also conned today. Yeah, me, of all people. Does that make you feel better?
You too, hombre? No way! No, that's impossible. You're just trying to cheer me up.
Oh, no, it's the truth. Please, just take a look at the present I got for you.
Wait, why can't it move?
That's just it. I'm sorry to say. It's just a figurine.
What? A figure? You mean it's a fake?
Yeah, and it's all my fault. I was duped by the Onikabuto vendor's false advertising. What a colossal fool I am. Taken in by a common street vendor? Ugh.
So you really were conned, dude! Let me take a second to let that sink in. Gotta say, although I didn't get my Emperor Onikabuto, somehow, knowing that even Heizou got conned kinda puts me back in a good mood. It's, strange. Maybe I'm sharper than I'm giving myself credit for. Great minds think alike, so, me and my hombre here, kinda equally matched. Hey, by the way, compadre, looks like you're the only one out of the three of us who didn't get conned today. But you better watch out. We got fooled not because we were stupid, but because those scam artists are some crafty dastards. I want you to have this figurine as a reminder of the fact that today, Heizou and I both got conned, but we both grew a little wiser too. I hope that whenever you see it, you'll remember how cunning those con artists were, and how difficult it was for Heizou and I to see through their schemes. Then, you'll always keep your wits about you, and you'll never become a victim yourself.
Yep, that's right. No one will ever manage to con you. Going to help this poor man out of his predicament?
Aha! Etsu and Iba! So that's what's going on here. You two are the scam artists. You put on this damsel in distress and elderly grandpa act to win my sympathy, then used a few cheap tricks to get my attention. Then you dangled the bait in front of me, waiting for me to bite. Darn it! I knew it! Who in their right mind would give away Onikabuto for free, let alone 10,000 of them? It's too good to be true, and that's how I know you're the scam artists. You got a lot of nerve trying to scam a Doshin. You're coming with me, and you'll give a full confession if you know what's good for you.
Finally, with the help of his intuition and a little guidance from beyond the void, Doshin Arataki successfully avoided being defrauded.
Nope, not even close. If you really want to know why, it's because I absolutely refuse to deal with that brat's nonsense. The only news that could make me happier than Shikanoin has gone missing would be Shikanoin has been missing for 100 years.
What the fuck?
Needless to say, Sango and Heizou have a bit of a history.
You still haven't left yet, so perhaps you've changed your mind about looking for Heizou, huh? That would be best. Take it from me. Getting involved with that guy is never a good idea. Let me put it this way. It wouldn't bother me at all if he disappeared forever. That's my issue. Don't give me that look. Everyone's allowed to have a few people they can't stand, right? In any case, I guess you should get moving before the Shikanoin causes too much trouble. By the way, if you do happen to come across any signs of a most unfortunate demise, be sure to notify me. It'll bring me great joy. Well, well, look who it is. The great Detective Heizou. What nonsense were you talking about just now? I've been worried about you, you know. So much so that I took the trouble to write that heartfelt letter to the Tenryou Commission. Well, was it sufficiently flattering for you?
Uh-oh, they're at it again.
Let's not waste the traveler's time, Sango. Just tell me, what do you want?
Fine by me. My request is simple. Disclose all the details of the Ryuji case. It's time you stop hiding the truth and let me investigate it thoroughly.
First of all, that case has already been solved. Second, I've disclosed everything the police station has on the case. And third...
Enough! You can only fool Ryuji with that. If you don't want to cooperate, I can assure you that I will write more letters to the headquarters of the Tenryou Commission. I will not give up on this case.
Wait, hold on. Can someone please explain what's going on here? Paimon doesn't have a clue what you two are talking about.
All right, let me explain. Several years ago, a terrible murder took place in the police station. I was still working at the Tenryou Commission then, and the victim was actually my dear boss. Due to various factors, I was deemed to be the top suspect, which is why it's called the Ryuji case. Also, Heizou wasn't a part of the police station back then. He was a detective at the agency, which at the time was called the Bonton Sango and Heizou Detective Agency.
Huh? That's crazy! But, wait. Then why did Heizou leave?
After the incident, I was quickly convicted and sent to prison. Fortunately, Sango then promptly proved my innocence and caught the real murderer.
But that murderer was actually just a dummy to throw us off. Am I right, Detective Shikanoin?
Sango thought that everything went smoothly, so much so that she suspected the real murderer was someone else. Of course, Detective Heizou was also helping with the investigation, but after a long time, he still came up empty-handed. Later on, he decided to join the police station to continue his investigation on the inside, which is why he left the detective agency.
Ha! That's what I thought too. I was foolish enough to believe that Detective Shikanoin and I shared a common goal. But I was wrong about him. He has no sense of loyalty at all. He just wanted to become an official as a means of gaining fame and fortune.
Come on, stop exaggerating. Let me set the record straight here. First, I joined the police station long after that murder case happened, and it had nothing to do with any inside investigation. That's just somebody's wishful thinking. Second, purely out of curiosity, I did investigate the case later from within the police station. My conclusion was that the suspect Sango had caught was in fact the real murderer. And lastly, when Sango didn't buy my conclusion and asked me to disclose all related case files from the police station, I did exactly as she asked. I didn't hide anything.
He's lying right through his teeth.
That's it. I want this to end once and for all. Since the Traveler's my supervisor today, they have complete access to all the police station's files. If he's willing to help re-examine the case and arrives at the same conclusion that I did, then you won't have to doubt me anymore.
Whoa. Huh?
Unless you don't trust the Traveler. Come on, say it.
It's not about whether the Traveler's trustworthy. I'm just wondering if you will interfere somehow.
The thought never even crossed my mind.
You have to swear that you will not mislead the Traveler by any means, and let him investigate the truth on his own.
No problem. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Well, Traveler, are you willing to help me with this? Will you agree to re-examine the Ryuji case and find the truth? You can bill me later for however much you'd like as compensation.
Sango, really? However much they want?
Money is valuable, no doubt. But pursuing the truth is the reason I started this agency. The Ryuji case is the only case I failed to solve. I am willing to give you anything. All right. I'm counting on you, Traveler.
So, what did you find? Have you come to a conclusion? Really? You found the criminal's motive and means that quickly? Awesome. All right, let's talk about the motive first. What clue reveals the criminal's motive? Excellent work. According to the Next, which clue confirms the criminal's means? So, what did you find? Have you come to a conclusion? Bingo! The autopsy report confirmed. Let's talk somewhere else. This isn't the best place for this discussion. Finished? Do you see now? The method used by the perpetrator to commit his crime wasn't by putting the white powder in the cold medicine. Oh, wait, what? Where'd you conjure that answer up from? Try again. That's correct. The white powder was Shiroyama's invention. As a forensic doctor, he provided a special cold medicine for Takatsukasa Isamu. The autopsy report showed that this medicine contained a high volume of acidic fruit and vegetable extracts. Then, he tricked Ryuji into sending fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu. When the two substances were taken together, a toxic dose of the substance formed in his body. This is the real modus operandi.
Oh, that's awful. One was medicine, and the other was an expensive nutritional supplement. Both completely harmless.
True, both are harmless on their own, but when combined, poof, that's it. It was not him who wanted to hide it, but the person pulling the strings behind him.
Huh. You mean there was someone else pulling the strings?
Aren't you curious where I found these pages from the research log? It was in Kujo Takayuki's secret warehouse. After I found the missing pages, I did some digging around and found out that Shiroyama had worked for Kujo Takayuki before joining the police station. The Kujo clan secretly provided Shiroyama with funds to study forensic science. I guess you could say that Kujo Takayuki's investment paid dividends in this case. Of course, I had only learned all of this after the Vision Hunt decree came to an end. Kujo Takayuki had lost his grip on power, and the Tenryou Commission was undergoing a general reshuffle. To avoid coming under suspicion, Madame Kujo Sara put me in charge of building a case against Kujo Takayuki. I found a huge stash of fish liver paste in his secret warehouse. Nothing hugely incriminating about that, of course, but I still took the trouble to open each and every package until finally, I had to concede that this really was just a huge stash of fish liver paste. But then, underneath the floor tiles where the fish liver paste was stacked, I found a secret compartment with this torn-off research report lying inside.
So it was him who wanted to frame Ryuji all along. What a nasty piece of work.
Let's review the whole case from the top. First, Takatsukasa Isamu, for whatever reason, noticed Shiroyama's talent as a forensic doctor and asked him to develop a special poison on his behalf. But Shiroyama was already working for the Kujo clan, so he refused. Takatsukasa Isamu wasn't about to take no for an answer, and that's where things took a dark turn. He twisted Shiroyama's arm by making a veiled threat to harm his family. All Shiroyama could do was to secretly report everything to Kujo Takayuki. When Takayuki learned what was happening, he instructed Shiroyama to pretend to cooperate with Takatsukasa Isamu, then kill the latter with the white powder once it was fully developed. Meanwhile, Ryuji's only role in this case was to deliver the fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu on Shiroyama's orders, completely unaware of the fact that he was being used as a pawn and that this was a key ingredient needed to create the poison. After the incident, Kujo Takayuki hoped to make Ryuji the fall guy, until the death sentence was stalled when it reached Madame Kujo Sara. In the meantime, Sango had begun her own investigation. Kujo Takayuki grew nervous that the truth would get out, so he threw Shiroyama to the wolves, hounding him to death and erasing all traces of contact between the two. And yet, he wanted to keep this secret formula, so he hid it. Greedy guy, that Takayuki. He must have wanted to have it on hand just in case he needed to employ it again in the future and make someone else disappear.
This Kujo Takayuki is an evil lunatic! We've got to report this to A. Whatever his current punishment is, it needs to be 10 times worse!
That would be practically impossible. One research log found in his warehouse doesn't prove anything. Even I can think of 100 excuses. Besides, Ryuji directly contributed to Takatsukasa Isamu's death by delivering the fish liver paste to him. The fact that he was unaware of the true nature of the situation doesn't matter.
But he's still innocent, right? Isn't it just a coincidence? Paimon really doesn't get how the law works.
Legally speaking, the judge would most likely rule that it was accidental. But in practice, Ryuji may still have to end up shouldering some responsibility.
So basically, you've been hiding the truth all this time to protect Ryuji.
Mental trauma doesn't heal as easily as physical wounds. My biggest worry is that Ryuji would struggle to cope if he knew the truth. He's like an innocent child. He freely gives his trust and his love to everyone that treats him well. That's why he thought of Takatsukasa Isamu as a father figure. I'm pretty sure that to this day, he has never paused to wonder whether Takatsukasa Isamu was actually a good person, or if Sango just hired him as a gopher, or why I left the detective agency. If he found out the facts about Takatsukasa Isamu, I'm afraid it would crush him. Well, as you can see, I'm a little less confident than people might think. To prevent Ryuji from getting hurt, I covered up the truth. But by doing so, have I held him back? Did I do the right thing? I couldn't turn to anyone for help, and everyone around me thinks I'm so smart that I should just be able to handle every case on my own. Even if I tried to discuss it with them, they'd just say, "Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Heizou, no problem's too difficult for you." But you're different. Unlike them, you don't have that kind of prejudice towards me. You've traveled far and wide and have had all kinds of experiences. It must have taught you a lot. Most importantly, my intuition tells me that you're someone special, that I can trust you and that you can help me. Right? So, I'd like you to be the one to decide whether we should expose the truth or not. Oh, you don't need to tell me what you decide, and you certainly don't need to decide right now. Let's just say I'm leaving this teensy-tiny matter up to you. All right, let's head back to the detective agency. You can mull it over on the way. Once you've made up your mind, just tell Ryuji and Sango your verdict.
Hey, Traveler. Hey, Detective Heizou. You're back already, huh? I bet you're tired. Well, I just bought some tonkatsu. Care to join me? There's plenty for everyone.
We'd love to. But wouldn't you like to hear the results of our investigation first?
No matter what you were able to find, it's all in the past and won't ever change. So I think we'd better chow down first. Besides, if Sango's not happy with the results, we might not have anything to eat later.
Come on, Ryuji, pipe down. Let's hear the Traveler's conclusion first.
Okay then. Over to you, Heizou and Traveler.
Don't worry, just tell us your findings. Everyone trusts you, as do I.
Well, what do you know? I suspected that was the case. Please rest in peace, Master Takatsukasa.
No, impossible! Traveler, are you sure you checked every last file, carefully? Ugh! No, you little... Shikanoin Heizou! You didn't pull any shenanigans on the Traveler, did you?
Sango, no accusations without evidence, remember?
The truth is out and the case is closed, Sango. Please don't send any more of your harassment letters to the Tenryo Commission. Well, I really owe it to you, Traveler. I'll be sure to properly thank you later. Until then, see ya.
Hey, you're not going anywhere!
Just tell us your findings. Everyone trusts.
But how? How could this be?
Huh. So, that's what really happened?
Ryuji, I know it's hard to accept, but...
Wait a minute. Sorry, I have quite the stomachache. Sango, can I take the day off?
Sure, of course. Take the week if you need it.
Oh, Paimon hopes Ryuji will be okay.
I didn't expect things to turn out like this.
Just give him some time to himself. I think he'll eventually come to accept it.
I'm still a little worried, though. What if he doesn't come to work tomorrow?
Then we'll go to him. Don't you worry about that, Sango. You need some time to process all of this, too.
I'm at a loss for words right now. Please, just leave me be.
Look! There's Ryuji! With a little kid, too! Is he buying our toys? Uncle Ryuji, was my daddy handsome? I've never seen what he looked like.
Of course. Takatsukasa Isamu was a very handsome man. Also, it's not uncle. Call me brother.
But you look so old.
Well, I'm still your brother.
Huh? How come?
Because he treated me like a son.
Huh? Who are you guys?
We're friends with your big brother Ryuji, and with your father, too.
Oh, really? Yay! I've met loads of my daddy's friends today. Can you tell me some stories about him? I really want to hear them.
Sure. Why, I know enough stories about your old man that if I started talking now, you'd be all grown up before I finished them.
Wow, that's amazing! Well, I don't want to grow up too soon then. Maybe when I'm 100. No, 200 years old. No, 300 years old. Yep, I'm gonna wait until I'm 300 years old before I become a grown-up, so that I can make sure I finish all the stories first.
Again, crafts.